Previously on Balls.
It's Gouwesian, Naas Botha. Get his thoughts on what's going to happen this weekend. Did you tell him it was an unknown number?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. He has another number. We'll try him on that one.
Yeah, we can do, but it's strange that he wouldn't answer.
Naas?
Hello.
Hello, Naas.
Hello.
Yes. Naas, good afternoon. We got worried there.
You gave us heart failure.
Yeah, Johnny said that you don't usually answer private numbers.
No, unknown numbers.
Unknown numbers. Okay, well, we apologize.
Private numbers I don't answer in any case because they tell you it's a private number.
Well, thank you. It sounds like you're on the golf course or somewhere quite windy.
No. I'm actually at Gasfontein High School. I'm actually watching the guys play trials because athletics stopped yesterday, so everybody's into their rugby strides. And Waterkloof is starting on Monday.
Okay.
So, just seeing what's going on at school level.
Because when we speak to you, we always speak to you about the Springboks or Super Rugby or something, or Curry Cup. But we actually, I don't think we've spoken to you about what's going on at Waterkloof. You are the head coach there. How's it going?
No, I'm definitely not the head coach. No, that should be a teacher. We're starting on Monday again, assisting there.
Yeah.
And it should be okay. I think I've learned quite a bit out of last year in any case. So learning in the sense that school politics is a dangerous thing to get involved with.
Yes, that's true, Naas.
Do you have?
So I've decided this year I'd rather stick to rugby and leave the politics for somebody else.
Yeah, leave the politics to, I don't know. I can imagine the parents coming down and watching their kids playing at practice and also just wanting to get a glimpse of you coaching the guys.
Yeah, but we've got a lovely agreement with the parents. If they understand, we'll be on the field. If they want to be on the field, I'll be in the stand. So it's actually a very nice relationship.
Oh, is it? They don't get involved.
Yeah. No, they're not allowed to get involved.
Good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to invite John Wallen to come and talk on TV, and I don't think that's going to work out.
No, we've tried that before. He's on TV at the moment.
Nice.
Well, that's working.
Keep him away.
Having his own rugby show on radio, that's also not going to work.
Yeah, no, you're right. Let the professionals do their thing. Well, Naas, thanks for your time this afternoon. We just basically phoning for a bit of a catch up and to get your thoughts on the games played today, but also some nice games tomorrow, in particular the Sharks versus the Stormers. But before we get there, just your thoughts on the Blues not only beating the Crusaders but actually giving them a good old pucksla.
Yeah, I must say I was very impressed with the Blues this morning. It looks like John Cohen definitely is hitting the right notes there. And just the way they played. I must say, I believe that the Crusaders looked very well organized. They missed quite a number of opportunities. So it's not like suddenly there's nothing that the Crusaders is not going to offer. But I must say, the Blues are definitely looking at different unit. And if you think how many players they've lost, and it's like a new squad. But sometimes, it's nice to clean the table and get a clean slate going, and I think that's what John did. But far more important is, I believe, the skill level at the moment of the New Zealand players are very, very of a high standard, and we need to take notice. I think we all know a little bit how we want to play, and hopefully the attitude will change this year, that you actually play rugby with the ball, where last year we heard that you play rugby without the ball.
Yeah, you talk about the skill set of the New Zealand players, but you look at that Highlanders Chiefs game last week. I mean, that was some superb rugby.
Absolutely fantastic, but that's why I say, and the thing is, we need to take notice. We can't just say, but this is the way we play. The most important thing is, and you can see all the laws at the moment, It's definitely designed for the team that's going to carry the ball, and we need to make sure that we carry the ball a little bit more, and making sure that we create opportunities. Because if you look on how many times we get a New Zealand player running off the ball, how many times have we seen a South African player should let the ball go for the player to run off his shoulder, and that never happens. So it's a little bit of a wait and see game at the moment. But I still believe at the moment there's enough quality structure-wise that we only need to adapt one thing, and that is to make sure that we carry the ball a little bit more.
Yeah. What do you think it is about South African players, though, that that they want to put ball to boot and they don't carry it as long as their New Zealand counterparts? I mean, you watch these guys play, and I'm talking about the New Zealanders, and they love to throw it around. I mean, they love to run it from pretty much anywhere.
But now for a number of years, we won 2 World Cups. Okay, not really the first one, because that was just the game, but the second one, because we actually concentrated on defense a lot more. And I think that got stuck a little bit with our rugby, to say, if you take the Stormers last year, I thought they had a superb season, but they were going on week in and week out. We don't have the ball, but we keep on winning, and it's great. But I think the number of law changes at the moment they've made for the teams to carry the ball. And it's just a mind change, that's all. We've got all the quality. We can do a lot more with the ball. We've got the quality, but the thing is, I see even at school level, you talk about school level, I see at school level, the guys are so into game patterns and game plans, and the guys don't play what they see, and they don't utilize their skill. And that's what we need to do. We should worry a little bit more developing skill at school level instead of having game plans.
Yeah. The Crusaders, how much do you think they missed Richie McCaw today?
They'll always miss him because he's a fantastic player. But I think the Crusaders are moving slightly away of being a Dan Carter, a Richie McCaw team. A year or two ago, even last year at one stage, you could see it's Richie McCaw, Dan Carter show. But now, I think there's a lot that you can that they can take out of this morning's game, and say, okay, firstly it's a away game, so you don't really need to worry too much about that. But they showed a lot of class this morning. As I said, a number of opportunities wasted, where the Blues took every opportunity, and sometimes you just get those games where whatever you try just doesn't work.
I just want to chat to you, ask your opinion on something that came up in the Bulls Stormers game last week, and I saw it reared its head in the Blues Crusaders game, and that's the influence and the effect of the TMO. Do you think that TMO decision was a bit harsh on Israel Dag? I mean, Ranger wasn't holding him, and instead of being given a try in that case, the Crusaders, they actually conceded one from the penalty, which turned out to be a big moment in the game.
Yeah, that was quite a big moment. See, that's where I still believe, if you're not 100% sure, go TMO. The same as the Chili Boy one, the same as the Jean de Villiers one. They go sometimes to the TMO, but I'm not a referee. Let's make that clear. But I think sometimes it's the wrong question asked, and maybe that's what they actually need to look at. It's not just to say is it a try or no try, or is it this or that. It's a little bit more than that, but we don't really see that too often. But the thing is, you're going to get those calls. I watched all the games last weekend, and I was just glad that I didn't play for Ireland last week, because I think I would have walked up to John Barnes and gave him a big smack, because he was absolutely useless in that game. And what's sad, if you want to watch a game, you start getting the feeling, doesn't matter what this one team is going to do, the ref is just not going to allow them to play. And I think that's, for me, far more important as to get maybe one call wrong, is to give every player a fair deal. And I don't always see that. And that's the sad part. And yes, the TMO is there. They can utilize him a lot more. We don't want the really American football where 80-minute game starts taking 3.5 hours to finish. We don't want that.
Yeah.
But what we want is a fair deal. And sometimes just the way the ref handles the game. it's not a fair deal. Even if you have 10 TMOs, it's not really going to work. So that's where I believe that they need to concentrate on making sure that the refs don't get into a position where every time it gives a penalty, the home crowd is going absolutely berserk. So suddenly he starts loving it, and it gives more and more and more and more, and that's not why the game is being played.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get into ref bashing, but the general consensus seems to be, if we're talking about the Bulls Stormers game last week, was that it was just a basic application of the law, and that it was a mistake that shouldn't have been made. But at the end of the day, we don't want to slate referees. We want the best out of them, and they're human, and they do make mistakes.
Of course they're going to make mistakes, and nobody complain about that. But the thing is, it's also if they all go on about the try of Chili Boy. But I still look at it in a different manner. I thought that he actually wanted to give a grabber, Francois Hougaard, and he was obstructed to actually follow through to the ball. And if he did follow, he would have put Chili Boy onside in any case.
Onside, yeah.
So there's been different ways of looking at it. I wasn't too sure, but somebody said, but go and look at the outside centre or inside centre. He also put Chili Boy onside. So I'm not saying, that's how we need to look at things to make sure that it's a try or no try. All I'm saying is what you want a fair deal. And if there's a questionable decision that needs to be made, just go up straight to the TMO and get a fair decision. But that's why I say a little bit earlier, it depends on how I ask you the question. If I say try or no try, that's all you can actually answer.
Yeah.
Well, I should actually say to you now, is there anything that you can add to this or whatever, or give him your opinion. Give the team your opinion and let him then give his opinion. But, it's like try or no try. Now, all you can say is yes or no. Now, what a question is that?
Sure. No, I hear you. I totally hear you. Looking ahead to tomorrow, the Cheetahs up against the Chiefs. We saw how the Chiefs played last week, and obviously the Cheetahs now on the road. It's going to be a tough one for the visitors.
For sure, it's going to be a tough one, but all they need to do is just think back what happened last year on the travel. They did a fantastic tour, the Cheetahs. And the most important thing is, I think seriously, we're making too much of an issue about the traveling. It's a game that you need to go and play. So all you do is just go and play. That's all you need to do. And, if you play well enough, you've got a 50% chance of winning. But the thing is, 80% of the teams arrive there, think, okay, that was a long flight. Everybody tells you it's a long flight.
Yeah.
Later you believe it was a long flight. Then you believe you're not sleeping well. Then you believe that. And at the end, before you actually run on, you've lost the game already. Instead of saying, what, they must also travel at one stage. So let's just go and play. But I must say, what we've seen from the Chiefs is going to be a tough game for the Cheetahs.
Yeah, I see Dave Rennie saying in the media that of all the SA sides, he believes the Cheetahs play the closest brand of rugby to the Chiefs. So, there's something as well to think about.
Yeah, but see, that's why I totally agree with you. The Cheetahs is playing a fantastic brand of rugby, but they're playing too much of that rugby in their own half. They need to be a little bit more, how can I put it, field orientated and get inside the half of the opposition. That's one. The other thing is, it looks like they love chasing games lately. But they hardly, that's why they lose less than 7 points 90% of the time.
Yeah.
What they need to do is to say, boys, stop chasing games. Let's start leading games. Or let's put ourselves in a position where we actually dominate the game, because we know they can. And we know they've got a problem here or there and whatever. We all know that. But the most important thing is, what they want is they want to put themselves in a situation to win any game. And if you take last week, the first 60 minutes, Johan Goosen didn't play well. So in a way, the Cheetahs didn't play well. Suddenly, the Cheetahs started playing well. Johan Goosen started playing well, and they actually looked a very, very good side.
Okay, well, your prediction for that one?
And I'll go Chiefs.
Chiefs by.
That's quite a simple one, isn't it?
Yeah, no, well.
Yes.
No, because it's a home game for them.
Yeah, no, you got to go. You got to go Chiefs.
No, let's say it's the Highlanders or maybe the Rebels or the Force or somebody like that, then you can say, hey, this is a 50-50 game. But it shouldn't be a 50-50 game. It should be all Chiefs, and that's the end of it.
Okay, all right. No, that's it makes sense. Bulls Force at 5:05 tomorrow. Should we even discuss that?
No, that's it. We don't need to because we're just wasting time there.
Fait accompli.
All right.
If they can't beat the Kings,
Yeah.
and they go and beat the Bulls tomorrow, then the Bulls don't belong in the
Then there's something wrong with this world. Okay, we'll leave that one. But the match of the weekend that I'm really interested to get your thoughts on is Shark Stormers in Durban.
Yeah, I see. Win games, and I said that even last week. When games are getting that close, you've got to look at your home field advantage. You've got to. You can't tell me that's not going to play a part. Yes, Sharks didn't play well in the Currie Cup final, but that's one aspect that actually fell apart. And then after that, the whole game fell apart. It's their lineout. Same with the Stormers last week against the Bulls, and they played so badly in the lineout. They had absolutely no chance of winning that game. But at the end, they got quite close. I think at one stage, and they should have been taken out in the first half. But the unfortunate thing for the Stormers, too many of their great players sometimes don't turn up. And I think that's where they need to look at. That's why they don't really get the best out of the most important games, is because there's too many top guys for that day not turning up, and that's what they need. And if they want to go and beat the Sharks tomorrow, you need Andries Packard to be at his best. You need Dion Fourie to be at his best. You need Brian Abana to be at his best. They can't play like they played last week, where somebody made a call and said, you know what, they got the man of the match totally wrong, because you had 5 the Stormers guys that actually played for the Bulls last week, so there should have been one of those guys. But I just think that we're very fortunate that we've got 2 fantastic teams taking on each other, and that's why I say when you get to that point, then it's coming down to home field advantage. If you don't use your home field advantage, then you must pay the price. If the Sharks don't go out and play because they play at home and take the advantage. You take last week. I don't care what people say. I don't care. You get to a point where you arrive at Loftus and you think, okay, this is going to be difficult. That's what you want. That's what everybody should think when they go to Devon. This is going to be difficult. Same as Newlands. If this game was at Newlands tomorrow, I would have backed Stormers.
Johnny? Naas, and also a lot of geest there with the very ever-popular Dr. Yanni Duplessis running out for his 100th Super Rugby game.
I saw that today.
I can't believe
he's a fantastic milestone, huh?
He's close to Greg Somerville.
Fantastic milestone.
Yeah, very close to Greg Somerville.
The thing is, if you go into the history of guys playing 100 and more, 99% if you play in a blue jersey, you normally win that. And if you don't play in a Bulls jersey, normally you lose that.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a good omen for the Sharks or a bad omen.
Yes.
But I think it's an absolute fantastic achievement, especially where it's tough in the tight 5, and to do that, it's an achievement in itself. And I believe that they didn't make too much of an issue about it, and that's what it should actually be.
Yes.
It's just another game. The most important thing is go and win the game first, then you can have a lacquer party afterwards.
Oh, lovely.
Nice. Last question before we let you go. Just your thoughts on Elton Giantjes. The poor guy he's been through a hell of a lot in the last couple of weeks. Didn't have a great game last week. Is it right to stick with him?
No. Yeah, see the thing is, I think his approach to the game was quite different, because he was running onto the field and he was screaming, and I know maybe he wanted to psych himself up, and he psyched himself out of it. You know what? Young guys need to understand one thing, and they need to believe in it. What I've done, for argument's sake, the week before is good enough for the week later. What they do is they want to go and they want to change things and whatever. And the thing that I picked up from him, and I'm actually going to look at it tomorrow, is he turns very quickly on with the ball in hand. He doesn't run forward and then pass the ball. So he creates space for the outside guys. What he does is he turns his body towards the guy that's going to receive the pass. And that means the opposition doesn't even bother about him anymore, because they know he's not going to do anything. So that's one aspect that he seriously needs to address. And kicking, he just didn't kick well. And the thing is, And that's where I still believe, and I know a lot of people might disagree with me, I would have changed him after 20 minutes because you could sense it's not going to be his day. And it was one of those, pull him after 20 minutes, that's the end of it. And klar, now you always think it might change, it might
get better.
Right. It never happens, boys, it never happens. That's just life. And that's where I still believe coaches is not strong enough in that department to say, okay, Naas is not performing today. Pull him.
Oh, but that never happened.
Sorry, because they could have won. They could have at least be in the game or won the game if they had somebody else, or when they had to convert their penalties into points. Now, if you want to miss the opportunities, don't blame anybody else. It's your own fault. But I think Elton went out and he wanted to prove that he is now in a new team, and he wanted to prove himself to the new team. And that's when you're looking for trouble. There's nothing different between playing for the Lions, playing for the Stormers. The only difference is the quality, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And he should have actually fitted nicely into the new environment. But I think his head left him a little bit, and he paid the price for it. And I'm telling you, he won't make the same mistakes again. That's for sure.
Yeah, some people just say he's not used to playing in front of that many people.
Hey, at least when he played for the Lions, there were 14 other guys watching.
Naas, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for your time on Bulls Radio this afternoon. We always appreciate your insights. And I was thinking, as you were talking there, with insights like that, I'm really surprised that you're not the head coach of Waterkloof. You should be.
No, I didn't want to be the head coach. In any case, no, that's a teacher, because they work 24/7 with the kids at school and whatever. You can't have an outsider, because he doesn't half know what's going on in school and who's behaving and who's not behaving. No, thank you.
Oh, I think when that outsider is Naas Botha, I think we'll make an exception. Naas, have a great weekend. Good luck with the talent scouting over there, and yeah, we'll see you on the TV.
But don't worry, I don't have a checkbook, so I can't buy it.
No, just watch, it's fine.
Oh, thank you, Naas.
Thanks very much, Naas.
Okay, boys.
Ciao.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
There you go, Naas Botha giving us his thoughts. Yeah, very
so
insightful.
nice.
I mean, he knows a lot about the game, eh?
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
He's got great insight.
This is Bulls Visual Radio. Darren, Simon, Kate, and John. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African Time. Bulls.co.za